Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Brad Bongiovanni, Richmond 92, and I am joined by my pal and partner, Jon Chandonnet, also Richmond 92. And we are going to give you just a few minutes today on our take on another aspect of well-being, which is the professional aspect of well-being. It's one of the seven, what we call vibrants. We've talked about the physical vibrant, we've talked about the emotional vibrant, and this month we're also talking about the professional vibrant. So I'm just going to kick us off, Jon. So what are we talking about when we talk about this professional pillar, or what we call vibrant, when it comes to well-being? What does it mean?
Right. So profession, everyone does something. If you think of profession, everyone does something for a living, right? To
Sure.
create the resources you need, right? I mean, so that's profession. But the question is that profession you're doing, is it aligned from within you, where your natural desire fuels the work that you do? And that's the question. There is a natural energy of desire that can fuel what you do professionally. Like as a doctor, you were a doctor, Brad. I mean, your desire to serve others and serve the well-being of others, did that fuel you from within?
Yeah.
My desire to write a book, did that fuel me from within? If it was an obligation where someone had a hand on my back to write 10 pages a day for 6 years, would I have done that?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. It's funny because it makes me think of, especially when we're in school, whether it's high school or college or even graduate school, there's a lot of obligation, right, in that. We have to write this paper. Do we want to write this paper? Is it something we wake up dreaming about and passionate about? If we're super lucky, yes, but most of the time, it's just another obligation to get through the course and get a good grade and kind of continue to advance. But it's all in the service of one day doing and moving towards what is that desire for us from a professional perspective. How are these micro steps going to move me towards not obligation, but really true desire and true fulfillment? And so keep sort of elaborating a little bit on what you're seeing when you talk to some of these younger, because Jon, you're a coach. So when you're coaching these younger, millennials, anywhere from 22 up to 32, what are you seeing when it comes to their struggles, lessons that, you can kind of impart in this particular aspect of well-being, a career or professional version?
Yeah, it's just, there's a number of people who are just starting out and to figure out what lights them up in what they're doing in their job and going to work every day. It's something I need to do and want to do every day. And how can that be something that I'm really excited about? It's like if you're an undergrad and you're taking a major that you don't really want to be taking, you're taking that major out of obligation, out of someone else's dream and desire for the life that they think you should be living. But is that something you really want to be doing? I mean, you change majors in college, maybe you're a pre-med because your parents thought you should be pre-med, but you know what? I really want to be a French major, because I love French class, whatever, I mean, that's pretty far and pretty divergent, but that's really the question.
I think, you and I, we're like 30, 20, maybe 30 years ahead of some of where the people that we might be speaking to now are. And if we could go back, you and I have talked about this, if we could go back 20, 25 years, man, and do it, knowing what we know now, and do it a little bit differently. I mean, I think we've shared with each other, we both feel like now when you're in this age of life, you're a young or recent grad, now is the time to start making decisions based on, we like to call it based on how big your gap is. right? With your well-being, where are you living now? Where's the life you want to live? How big is that gap? But we can even insert that concept here because, are you making decisions based on obligation in your career, or are you making decisions based on what lights you up, what brings you fulfillment, what are your desires, what do you want to contribute to the world, what do you want to be known for? And if you can start basing your decisions, even if it's not a perfect linear progression, on that place, I think you and I, being a little bit more experienced and a little bit more seasoned, might agree that that is going to set someone up very, very well if that is their compass, if that is their sort of North Star, in terms of constantly asking themselves those types of questions. What's your take?
It does. And so much of this is trial and error. You think you want to do something and you go off and you do it and you're like, no, that's not really what I want to do. And so, part of it is, I think I've got this idea of where I want to head. And then you take a couple of steps and you experience it and you're like, oh, that's not really what feels right to me. That's not really what turns me on. So, as much as there is that element of, I wish I knew what I wanted to do sooner. A lot of it is trial and error.
Yeah, I think
figure it out.
Yes, I think there's so much trial and error in everything, including this. And there has to be some willingness to take risk, right? And to try new things and to push outside your comfort zone. I think the lesson that we would like to share anyway is to just stay true to yourself, and to constantly ask yourself, is this going to bring me closer to my desires and fulfillment, or is it going to kind of take me further away from those? And then you still may not know when you take a new job offer, but that should be the lens upon which you kind of view your experience. And then if things aren't lining up, then guess what? You shift, you pivot, you make a different choice.
Right. And so I think you nailed it on the head. The sooner you tune in to what it is you want, and start listening to yourself and have an orientation on really how you're feeling and what you're experiencing with what you're doing and how that impacts you, the more you can turn in and touch that for yourself.
Yeah.
Not anyone else.
Yeah, I know. I said, when you said, for yourself, that's exactly what I was thinking of, because, we tend to look at our friends, our family, our neighbors, what they're doing. But well-being is, we're constantly evangelizing. This is not a one-size-fits-all type of idea. It's, what does well-being mean for you? Here in this micro version of well-being, we're talking about career well-being, professional well-being. So my advice is, do not worry about anyone else. Just consistently ask yourself, what do I need to feel professionally at my best, or my well-being, my professional well-being? And really put the blinders on and cheer for everybody and be happy for everybody. But just remember to stay true to yourself and listen to yourself and reflect inside yourself, because the only person that can decide whether you feel professionally well is yourself.
Right. And it can take a while, and sometimes professionally you have to do things to make money, the resources to live the life you want to. You're learning really what it is that you want to be doing, and so sometimes you're not doing exactly what you want to be doing, but you have to go through that experience to figure out, oh, okay, this is really what I want to be doing.
Yeah. Sometimes those are the biggest lessons, when you're off course and you realize, okay, I'm off course. How did I get off course? What did I learn from this? How is it How did I get here? And what do I need to do to get back on course? I mean, that sort of self-correction, course correction, it'll get easier, right? With practice, it'll get easier with time, easier with maturity. And then you'll get to be sort of a master, pilot, so to speak, of, instead of getting way off course, you'll get slightly off course, right? Before you notice and course correct.
Right. Which I think is awesome, so, you may feel off course for, 6 months or a year, but, wouldn't you rather feel that way rather than like 5 years or 10 years? And that's what, yeah, like the sooner you can course correct, the better. And that's really what we're encouraging people to do, is just tune into where you're feeling and what that is for you, and maybe allow that to lead you in a new direction sooner rather than later. Have the courage to really face those feelings, of what the professional vibrant is creating for you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you have the last word. What is 30 seconds? What should someone who's made it this far listening to us really walk away with from our conversation?
Tune in to what you want. I mean, that's the only, should is the obligation energy. The only thing you should do is tune in to what you want. I mean, if that's the only should that we would probably prescribe, right, Doc?
Yeah. I mean, I told you I'd give you the last word, so I'm gonna zip it. Thank you, Jon. You are coaching with a lot of these younger, more recent graduates, and it's an exciting place to be, because you and I constantly talk about, oh my God, if we knew all this stuff back then, how smoother could our ride have been, right, to get us to where we are these days. So keep on keeping on. Thank you for your time, and we'll be back next month with another, basically, spotlight on another well-being pillar. Stay tuned, stay well, be well.